This will feed the whole family. Tender and flavorful whole Atlantic salmon fillets are only $6.99 per
Join the Armchair Quarterback Show for its 9th season. And this year, we're doing it all in one show. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, we'll be talking college football, the SEC, the Big Ten, other big games of the day. We'll be diving into the National Football League, focusing on the Southern football teams and all the big matchups throughout the land. And doing it while covering the point spreads, the over-unders, the prop bets, fantasy football. We'll tell you who to start and who to sit. And everybody's favorite, the stupid underdog picks. We'll cover Major League Baseball all the way through October and beyond. It's the Armchair Quarterback Show, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, Saturday mornings on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel. You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. TGIF on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Justin Waller and Mac McGee are back at it 6 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern every Friday evening right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel and your local CBS Sports affiliates. We're talking the NFL, Major League Baseball, Southern football, so grab you a cold one. It's finally Friday on the Armchair Quarterbacks, 6 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. Waller and McGee getting you ready for your sports weekend. Saturday mornings, the Armchair Quarterbacks, a Southern tradition like no other. We dive into the Southeastern Conference and the Southern teams in the National Football League. We talk the betting lines, fantasy football. So join us Saturday mornings and get your football weekend started right with the Armchair Quarterbacks, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, right here on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel.
G'day. Hi, it's Dean, calling from Cyprus.
Buongiorno, Dino.
My mate wants me to rub sun cream on his back.
Holy dooly. A delicate matter. But a bird wingman is useless. So there are rules.
Okay.
Only put cream where he can't reach.
Between his shoulder blades. The safe zone.
Like anything else?
Whack it on thick, mate. Last thing you want to do is a second coach.
And remember, Dino, the following things are not permitted.
Eye contact.
Scented candles.
Power balance.
And do not apply if he's wearing budgie smugglers.
Are we all clear?
Crystal. Cheers, fellas.
No dramas.
Armchair.
Hey, Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I'll be bringing you Braves baseball play-by-play for the Braves fans out there, for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, Tuesday and Friday nights, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
What happens when 5 eligible bachelors welcome a little girl into their lives?
Hey, it's my turn in the bathroom.
Stop hilarity.
TGIF on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Justin Waller and Mac McGee are back at it every Friday evening right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel and your local CBS Sports affiliates. We're talking the NFL, Major League Baseball, and Southern football, so grab you a cold one. It's finally Friday on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Waller and McGee getting you ready for your sports weekend.
If only the world was less like this.
I could use a smoke.
Hey, put that out.
And more like this.
I could use a smoke.
You murderer. I'm gonna have children one day.
Smoking kills, unless you kill first. If you're around a smoker, you will die. Smokers may look relaxed and like they're having fun. Don't believe it. Vote yes on Proposition 421. Let's outlaw smoking everywhere, even in people's homes, and allow honest citizens to legally kill anyone who smokes. Let's live in a world without smokers. Prohibition works. Let's prove it. It's time to smoke the smokers. Vote yes on Proposition 421.
Join the Armchair Quarterback Show for its 9th season. And this year, we're doing it all in one show. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, we'll be talking college football, the SEC, the Big Ten, other big games of the day. We'll be diving into the National Football League, focusing on the Southern football teams and all the big matchups throughout the land, and doing it while covering the point spreads, the over-unders, the prop bets, fantasy football. We'll tell you who to start and who to sit, and everybody's favorite, the stupid underdog picks. We'll cover Major League Baseball all the way through October and beyond. It's the Armchair Quarterback Show, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, Saturday mornings on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel. Hey, Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I'll be bringing you Braves baseball play-by-play for the Braves fans out there, for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, Tuesday and Friday nights, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
Bro, Blake, play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? If I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? More Twitch streams for us. That's facts.
Armchair.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
Lager, the beer that brought the forest down. I drive an exotic imported sports car. I eat exotic foreign food like frankfurters and pizza. But when it comes to numbing my mind, I'm a patriot. I drink the beer that brought the forest down. I'm a lager man. And with the new 80-bottle trunk pack, you've got enough for the evening. Hey, it's happy hour somewhere. Lager brings out the patriot in you.
Screen pass to Trayshawn DeAndre on the right side. He dodges Crushman, makes his way to the end zone. Touchdown. But wait a second. I think there's a flag on the play.
All right, you guys got holding on number 97, right?
Yeah, definitely holding. No touchdown.
All right, make the call.
Yeah, I mean, it was holding.
So make the call.
Or, we say the flag was for an excessive celebration so they can keep the touchdown and apply the penalty to the kickoff, huh? What do you say?
What are you talking about? I didn't see excessive celebration.
You sure? I could have sworn I saw a little nay-nay going on.
What's going on with you, man?
All right, look, guys, I got to be real with you. Trayshawn DeAndre just scored that touchdown. Okay, I have him on my fantasy team this week. I need these points.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you, Bill. I'm playing against my father-in-law this week, and if he doesn't score this touchdown, I lose.
Well, I'm not going to let you make a bad call because you're in some fantasy football league.
Make the call.
Craig, no. If you make one bad call.
This works out perfectly, Bill. I started the quarterback who threw the touchdown pass. We're going to have to ignore the holding call.
I have the kicker, and I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't convert on third down, so he'd have to kick the field goal.
Armchair.
Join the Armchair Quarterback Show for its 9th season. And this year, we're doing it all in one show. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, we'll be talking college football, the SEC, the Big Ten, other big games of the day. We'll be diving into the National Football League, focusing on the Southern football teams and all the big matchups throughout the land, and doing it while covering the point spreads, the over-unders, the prop bets, fantasy football. We'll tell you who to start and who to sit, and everybody's favorite, the stupid underdog picks. We'll cover Major League Baseball all the way through October and beyond. It's the Armchair Quarterback Show, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, Saturday mornings on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel.
The Almighty says this must be a fashionable fight. It's drawn the finest people.
We live in a world now that welcomes and nurtures the screwball in all of us. Hey, it's a new decade, people. Time to get a little nutty. Treat yourself to Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, a smooth flavor that combines two of America's favorites, peanut butter and American whiskey. So no more social awkwardness. Time to embrace who you truly are. Get out there and make friends. And be sure it starts with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It's available nearly everywhere. Learn more at screwballwhiskey.com. Infinium Spirits. Please enjoy responsibly.
Saturday mornings, the Armchair Quarterbacks, a Southern tradition like no other. We dive into the Southeastern Conference and the Southern teams in the National Football League. We talk to betting lines, fantasy football. So join us Saturday mornings and get your football weekend started right with the Armchair Quarterbacks, 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, right here on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hump Day on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Every Wednesday, Matt McGee, Justin Waller, we come to you live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, to talk the world of sports. The Atlanta Braves in Major League Baseball, Tennessee Titans, and the National Football League, Southeastern Conference, and college football. We'll get you over the hump every Wednesday, kicking you right into your sports weekend. Hump Day, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, on Armchair Quarterbacks 1 YouTube channel and your local CBS affiliates.
What a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. And it is a great moment for all of us, and particularly for Henry Aaron, who was met at home plate not only by every member of the Braves, but by his father and mother. At 10 minutes after 9 in Atlanta, Georgia, Henry Aaron has eclipsed the mark set by Babe Ruth.
The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pale-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn proceeded, as did Jimmy Blake. The former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. When the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more, there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley. It rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. When responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip. Defiance flashed in Casey's eyes. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once the dun sphere flew, but Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said strike two. Fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Hey, Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves Baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I'll be bringing you Braves Baseball play-by-play for the Braves fans out there, for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, Tuesday and Friday nights, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
I'm Amy Lauren, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
there's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Got a room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Breed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
You're in Braves country.
We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop, baby. All throughout Braves country, pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all. Woo!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, boys and girls. It's time for Braves Country Baseball. Good evening. I'm Mac McGee, and the scene is set. Truist Park. We are live. Going to bring you pitch by pitch of the New York Mets traveling into Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Braves. The New York Mets lead the division by just one game. All three games will be here in Atlanta, all three at nighttime. You got tonight, tomorrow night. That game is on national feed of Fox. And Sunday night, we will do the broadcast, assuming the Braves win at least one of these next two games. The Braves need a win in this series and would prefer a sweep. Here's how the scenarios go down. If the Mets were to sweep, the division is over. If the Mets take 2 out of 3, the division is over. We would have to win the next 3. They would have to lose the next 3, and they're playing the Nationals at home. If the Braves win 2 of 3, we would be tied with the Mets heading for the final 3 games, and we would need some help. We would need to win more games than the Mets do because the Mets would have the tiebreaker. If the Braves were to sweep, we would leave Truist Park Sunday night with a 2-game lead and the tiebreaker, and our magic number would be 1. So that would be the ideal scenario, but that is a tough ask against one of the best teams in baseball all year long, and they are sending their best to the mound. Tonight it'll be Jacob deGrom versus our best, Max Fried. Max Fried comes into the game with a 13-7 record, 2.50 ERA, 102 WHIP, 180 innings pitched, 167 strikeouts, and 32 walks. The lineup looks like this for the New York Mets. It'll be Nemo leading off, Alonso, Lindor, Kanya in left field batting 4th, McNeil batting 5th and right, Escobar playing 3rd and batting 6th, Alvarez, more on him, the rookie call-up, their number 1 prospect, is going to be the designated hitter. He is a catcher by trade. Guillorme is the second baseman and batting 8th, and Nito is behind the plate and batting 9th. The Atlanta Braves defense looks like this. From left to right in the outfield, it's Rosario, Harris, and Acuna. In the infield, around the diamond, you got Riley, Dansby, Arcia, and Olsen, and Travis d'Arnaud is behind the plate. As we've already said, Mr. Max Fried is on the hill, and it's time to play ball because it's baseball time in Braves country. Here's the first pitch on the way, and it's a fastball right there on the inner cut of the zone, taken by Nito, who loves to take pitches. It's 0-1. Nito batting .266 on the year, 14 home runs, 58 RBI. The 0-1 pitch is swung on. That ball is rifled down the line, but foul. A close one went into the seats, but in the right field section, down the right field line, excuse me, and it's 0-2. Nito was sitting in on that sinker, turned on it and drilled it. Now it's just a souvenir. So Nito, who is running down the line, gets back into the box. Braves in their Friday night reds, the red jerseys, the white pants. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and banged off the plate. Foul. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. We're just getting going here. Top of the first inning. Brandon Nemo. Thomas Nito is the catcher. Brandon Nemo, the center fielder, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch, sinker down below the knees, taking good take, good eye, and it's 0-2, 1-2. Nemo has not had much success against Max Fried, batting 143. The 1-2 delivery from Fried. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball dropped off the table just below the zone. And it's the first out of this very important series. Normally, we're updating you all around the league about what's going on with the scores. Won't be doing a whole lot of that tonight, as this is the game, the series. Most of the other things in Major League Baseball have already been decided. Phillies and Brewers are still fighting it out for that final wild card spot. And Toronto, Seattle, and Tampa Bay are jockeying for position. That'll bring Pete Alonso to the plate. Alonso takes the first pitch for a strike, curveball on the outer half. It's 0-1. Alonso moved up to the number 2 position because Starlin Marte is still missing on the IL. Max Fried looks in, and Alonso steps out for a second, playing a little cat and mouse game, going in and out of the box. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and rifled into center field. It's a one-hopper to Michael Harris. a sinker on the outer edge that he just kind of stuck the bat out there and the ball did the rest. And it's a 1-on, 1-out single to get the Mets going here. In the top of the first. Alonso looking for that pitch away, knowing that Fried probably wasn't going to challenge him inside early in the count. Here's the first pitch to Lindor, and it's a curveball right there at the knees, taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Francisco Lindor batting .274 on the year, a .799 OPS. The 0-1 pitch on the way, and curveball swung on, grounded to Riley. Riley's got it, flips it over to second, and gets the force out. Good defensive play by Riley. Arcia takes it and puts it in his back pocket because Lindor was flying down the line, so no chance to double him up, but there are two away. See the comment there, Frankendoodle, the word on Spencer Strider is he is on the IL and will not be eligible to come off the IL until the end of the regular season. They do expect that he will be able to pitch in the first round of the playoffs, assuming no setbacks. There's some folks that think this is overly precautionary because they were trying to limit his innings as well. Here's the first pitch on the way to Mark Kanya. He takes it for a strike on the outer half of the plate. It's 0-1. Mark Kanya steps in, a righty-lefty matchup. The right-handed left fielder batting .265, 12 home runs, 56 RBI, and 3 stolen bases with a .769 OPS. 1-on, 1-out. 1-on, 2-out, excuse me. The 0-1 pitch swung on and fouled back just in front of the curveball on the outer half of the plate. It's 0-2. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Game 1 of a 3-game series. If the Braves win just one of these, we will be back Sunday night, 7:08 first pitch, a little earlier than normal. Braves are facing DeGrom tonight. Tomorrow it's Max Scherzer. And Sunday night baseball, they'll be facing Bassett with Charlie Morton on the hill. Kyle Wright pitches for Atlanta tomorrow. The 0-2 pitch, and Max Fried flips it over to first, tried to catch Lindor napping. No such luck, and we'll do it again. It's 0-2. Philadelphia did beat Washington earlier today. They're playing a doubleheader. Milwaukee Brewers are trying to chase down the Phillies after they left Atlanta or played Atlanta last. They went on to get swept by the Cubs, so they are in hot water in the wild card. The 0-2 pitch, curveball way outside, taken for a ball. It's 1-2. If Kanye can keep things going, Jeff McNeil stands on deck. Jacob deGrom will be the pitcher tonight. Remember, he got pounded out in Oakland last time out, so he's looking to right that ship. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Fried as he looks over to first. Here's the delivery, swing, and bangs it off the plate. We'll do it again at 1-2. Yes, Chase, this is live. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Top of the first inning. Appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us here on Braves Country Baseball here every Tuesday and Friday night throughout the regular season. We are doing an extra broadcast if the Braves are still in it, needing to just win one of the next 2 games Sunday night. Tuesday night, early pitch, 6:40, Braves versus the Marlins. The 1-2 pitch, curveball swung on and banged over to third. Riley's got it, fires it across the diamond, and they're going to say that was a foul ball. We'll have to do it again. Riley had the runner by about a stride and a half, but a late foul call will reset it. if the final game of the season, which is Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, if it is of importance, I have to work my day job, but what I'm setting up is I will have the stream set up with the score running. And the moment I get off from work, which will probably be around the 7th or 8th inning, I'll fly in here onto the microphone and finish off the game. There's a lot of baseball to be had before then. The 1-2 pitch from Fried. Travis d'Arnaud sets up outside. Curveball swung on and grounded over to Riley. Riley's got it. Fires it over to second. We're out of the inning. So the Mets put one on, but fail to score. A 5-4 put out in your scorebook. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Jacob deGrom versus the Braves.
Yeah, you can't say white trash anymore. It's a bad word now. Dude, my dad met his now wife while she was in prison, while he was visiting his daughter, who was also in prison for identity theft against his other daughter. White trash is my word. I earned it, dude.
TGIF on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Justin Waller and Mac McGee are back at it every Friday evening right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel and your local CBS Sports affiliates. We're talking the NFL, Major League Baseball, Southern football, so grab you a cold one. It's finally Friday on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Waller and McGee getting you ready for your sports weekend.
Today we're going to talk about crazy stats. Mark Lemke played for 11 seasons and had 3,664 career regular season plate appearances. You may be asking yourself, what is crazy about that? In his entire career, he was never hit by a pitch. Lemke also had 257 career postseason plate appearances, and you guessed it, he was never hit by a pitch.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
I remember reading a story one time about Cobb in the minor leagues playing, and they didn't shower in the ballpark. They would go back to their little apartment or house, whatever it was. And every day, Cobb was always in the tub ahead of the roommate. And this one particular day, the roommate got back to the house. And the roommate got into the tub, and Cobb came in and dragged him out of the tub and said from the bottom of his heart, "Don't you understand? I have to be first."
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I'm Mike McGee. Appreciate you stopping by. On a very important series, the Braves are set to face Jacob deGrom, the New York Mets in their road grays with the blue lettering and the orange outline, taking on the Braves with their Friday night specials, the red tops, white bottoms. Leading off is Ronald Acuna Jr. from right field, and the first pitch is swung on and hit high, but going foul, 99 miles an hour on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Braves look like this tonight. Dansby Swanson batting second and playing short. Harris batting third and playing center field. Mets defense, as we go from left to right in the outfield, Kanya, Nemo, and McNeil. In the infield as the 0-1 pitch is a fastball misses outside 100 miles an hour. It's 1-1. Mets infield is Escobar at third, and around the horn goes Lindor, Guillorme, Alonso, and Nito behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch to Cunha swung on and grounded over to short. Reached for a fastball on the outer edge, and it's a 6-3 putout to start the game. Rest of the Braves lineup looks like this, with Dansby and Harris due up in this inning. It'll be followed by Riley at third, Matt Olson at first, Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate and batting fifth. Contreras Riley fourth, Olson fifth, and Travis d'Arnaud batting sixth. I think I messed that up. Seventh is Contreras at the designated hitter position. Rosario, your left fielder, and batting eighth, and Arcia is batting ninth. The first pitch on the way to Dansby Swanson, he's swinging first pitch, and if it's fouled down the line, it's 0-1. Braves first pitch swinging early on DeGrom once again. They've done that quite a bit. DeGrom has had some success with the Braves. A few times the Braves have gotten to him. But you can expect with the early swings, he'll go deep into the game. The 0-1 pitch to Swanson, fastball just off the knees, and it's 1-1. Went back and watched that game with the Oakland A's, and how they really lit him up was they made him throw into the count. He was having to work long into the count, was not hitting the zone early. It's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. It's 1-2. And the Oakland A's took advantage of the fact that he was falling behind in the count, and he had to lay a fastball over the plate. And it's a lot easier to tee off on that incredible fastball when you know it's coming. 0-0 your score. Bottom of the first inning, Braves Mets. Here's the 1-2 pitch from DeGrom, swung on and knocks it foul. Good job of Swanson staying alive there. 1-2. Dansby Swanson batting .276 on the year. Braves have as a team strike out quite a bit. The 1-2 delivery, swing and a miss, strike three. Dansby flailed at a slider that was falling out of the zone, and there's 2 away. That'll bring Michael Harris, the second, up to the plate. Harris batting .305 from the left side of the plate. 19 home runs, 64 RBI, 20 stolen bases, 1 dinger away from the 2020 club. And almost 400 at bats this year. This will be at bat number 398. The first pitch to the possible rookie of the year is a fastball swung on and fouls it back out of play. It's 0-1. Speaking of rookies, the debut for the New York Mets number 1 prospect, Francisco Alvarez, the designated hitter, is tonight. The 0-1 pitch, fastball misses inside. It's 1-1. Not only is he the number 1 prospect in the Mets organization, according to MLB Pipeline, he is the number 1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. The 1-1 delivery from DeGrom on the way, off the plate wide. It's 2-1. Bruce Streckman is your home plate umpire. Nick Lentz at first base. Mike Estabrook is the second base umpire, and Ted Barrett will be manning third. The 2-1 delivery from DeGrom, and slider swung on and fouled it back against the screen. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from DeGrom. He kicks and deals, and swing and a miss, slider in the dirt, and Harris went fishing, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts for DeGrom. We'll head to the top of the second. The 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Mets coming to the plate.
Leave me alone. I'm a happily married man. There's no way you're happy. You have 2 kids. Your wife is a disaster. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I will show her this. She will divorce you. You will become my brother forever.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. AL MVP Shohei Ohtani was not only a great hitter in 2021, but also a solid pitcher. A stat to show this is that in high leverage situations, Ohtani had the highest OPS as a hitter, and he held hitters to the lowest OPS as a pitcher. This means that Shohei was the clutchest hitter and pitcher.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
George Edward Rube Waddell may have been the strangest man ever to play in the big leagues. A farmer's son from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. He possessed a fastball fearsome enough and a curve wicked enough to lead the American League in strikeouts for 6 straight years and to outpitch Cy Young for 20 innings. but it was his personality that most people remembered. He poured ice water on his arm before he pitched because he said otherwise he'd burn up the catcher's glove. And when he won a game, he sometimes turned cartwheels on the mound. He drank too much. The Sporting News called him the Southpaw, and he couldn't quite remember how many women he'd married. Between seasons, Waddell wrestled alligators and toured in a vaudeville melodrama, The Stain of Guilt. On the field, his attention tended to wander. Opponents could break his concentration by holding up puppies or bright, shiny toys. He loved fires, and when a fire bell clanged, he had to be restrained from leaving the game to chase the fire engine. Exasperated teammates and opposing players never knew what he'd do next, but fans loved it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves, New York Mets were tied in the top of the second inning. Max Fried will go back to work, and he is set to face Jeff McNeil from the left side of the plate. McNeil batting .320. The first pitch to McNeil is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. McNeil, 816 OPS, 7 home runs, 59 RBI, and if he gets on base, has 4 stolen bases. The 0-1 pitch from Fried is fastball, top of the zone, just misses, says Dreckman, and it's 1-1. We want to know what kind of home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman is. We've had him a few times. He normally calls it pretty tight. The 1-1 pitch, fastball misses outside. It's 2-1. I tend to think that kind of has a slight advantage to the New York Mets. And the reason being is they are more likely to work the count than the Braves lineup. With 2 number 1 pitchers, it shouldn't be a big deal, but I would say slight advantage to New York. The 2-1 pitch right there at the knees, called for a ball. It's 3-1. That's another perfect example. That ball, a lot of umpires would have given the strike there. It was just below the zone. And I mean, just below, probably touched the line on its way across the plate. But Dreckman calls it low. The 3-1. Right there for a strike, slider taken all the way by McNeil, trying to work his way on base. It's 3-2. Standing on deck is Escobar. Escobar, a hot bat recently. The 3-2 delivery from Fried. Swing and hits it high, not very deep into left field. Rosario with another terrible defensive play. Stumbles and does not make the catch, and it's a leadoff single. Rosario really turning into quite an issue in the outfield. The last 3 or 4 weeks, that's at least 5 balls that he has misplayed. Now, they probably weren't going to call it an error because he didn't touch it before it hit the ground, but anybody watching knows that that is an error. Should have been made. And you do that against a team like the Mets with DeGrom on the mound, you're asking for trouble. That'll bring Escobar to the plate. Escobar batting .240 on the year. Curveball misses outside. It's 1-0. The 0-1. Did he call that? I guess he called that a strike. I apologize. That was actually a wide strike he's not known for. The 0-1 pitch, that one is way outside wide. It is 1-1. The first pitch, curveball, was probably about 2-3 inches off the plate. If Fried can get that call all night long, he's going to be hard to beat. The 1-1 delivery from Fried. Fried flips it over to first. McNeil dives back to the base. No tag applied. We'll do it again at 1-1. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Top of the second inning. Mets with the runner on and nobody out. The 1-1. Fastball swung on and laced into left field right at Rosario. He gets it and throws it back into the infield. And the bad defensive play is starting to hurt Atlanta right off the bat. Runners on first and second and nobody out. And the rookie Alvarez coming to the plate. So if this is not scripted storybook, the rookie getting his first major league at bat, the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball, 27 home runs on the year in the minor leagues, a 260 average, 885 OPS. Righty lefty matchup. The first ball's rifled to Riley. Riley gets it, and it's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Good defensive play by Riley. Alvarez smoked that ball. A one hopper that Riley went to his knees and had to make a great stab to prevent it from going to the outfield. And a big double play. That thing took off on Riley when it hopped. I'm really surprised he made that catch. I mean, that was an incredible reflex to be able to make that play. So Atlanta now with 1 on and 2 out, runner did make it to third. Guillorme comes to the plate, number 8 hitter, batting .275, and the first pitch to him is a sinker down below the knees. It's 0-1. Guillorme, .275, 2 home runs, 15 RBI, a .696 OPS. Is a guy that chokes up on the bat with runners in scoring position, so he is a tough out. The 1-0 pitch to Guillorme on the way off the plate, and it's 2-0. Standing on deck is the number 9 hitter, Thomas Nido. Guillorme once again rushed into starting duty last few weeks because the starting right fielder, Marte, is on the IL, so McNeil, who normally starts at second, was pushed to right, and Guillorme in the lineup. The 2-0 pitch swung on, and that ball's going to get dropped down into left field. Rosario tries to make a sliding catch, bobbles it, and it's 1-0 Atlanta, New York, excuse me. Rosario, once again, they're hitting it right to him. He is not making the defensive plays. That is a play that should be made by a major league outfielder. Ball hit him right in the glove. Unbelievably terrible defensive play by Rosario. 2 of them in this inning, and it's 1-0 New York. I know Rosario feels terrible about it, but games like this, you cannot have these types of gaffes. So that'll bring up Nido to the plate. Nido, first at bat, batting .242. 2 home runs, 27 RBI, a .598 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup here. Runner on first, 2 away. The 30th pitch of the game by Fried, and he misses again. It's 2-0. Granted, those are 2 fairly hard-hit balls to Rosario, but if he just makes one of them, the Braves are out of the inning. The 2-0 delivery from the stretch. Kicks and deals, swung on and fouls it back. It's 2-1. National League East on the line. Braves, 4-time defending division champions, and of course the World Series defending champion, trying to win the NL East for a 5th time in a row. The 2-1 from Fried. Darnold sets up inside, swung on and fouls it back. 94 at the top shelf, and it's 2-2. Looking ahead to the Braves' bottom of the second inning, they'll have Riley, Olson, and Travis d'Arnaud coming to the plate. Fried, taking his time to deliver, looks the runner back over to first. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses way outside. It's 3-2. So now with a full count, they'll have the runner on the move. Standing on deck is the leadoff hitter, Brandon Nemo. The 3-2 pitch from Max. d'Arnaud sets up inside. Fastball swung on and fouled it back. It's 3-2. New York 1, Braves nothing. Top of the second inning. We're just getting going here on Friday night Braves country baseball. Here's the pitch. The 3-2 swung on and popped up. Giving chase down the line is Acuna. He'll make the catch at the line, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Mets take advantage of some bad defense in left field. We'll head to the bottom of the second, trailing by 1.
Oh no. What? Oh boy. This isn't my bad, guys.
Oh my God, Ruffy.
Get out of here. Go. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. There have been 4 times where a player to be named later was themselves. For example, in 2005, John McDonald was traded from the Blue Jays to the Tigers for a player to be named later. 4 months later, the trade was completed when McDonald was reacquired by the Blue Jays as the player to be named later.
It's important to remember the value of taking time for ourselves to do the things that help us grow and explore, like learning something new. And now with the Great Courses Plus, it's never been easier to experience the joys of learning. The Great Courses Plus offers thousands of streaming videos that cover hundreds of fascinating topics. And because the Great Courses Plus partners with world-class professors and experts, you're always receiving thoroughly vetted, high-quality content from every lecture. Plus, you can watch or listen anytime, anywhere with the Great Courses Plus app. So take a little time for you. Sign up for the Great Courses Plus today for a free month of unlimited access. Visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio to get started. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio.
Sunday would come and the little park would be packed way before game time. Everybody wanting to see the great Rube Waddell pitch. Nowhere to be found. Manager'd be having a fit. And then just a few minutes before the game time, there'd be a commotion in the grandstand. And you'd hear people laughing and yelling, "Here comes Rube, here comes Rube." And there he'd come right through the stands. He jumped down on the field, cut across the infield, the clubhouse, taking off his shirt as he went. In about 3 minutes, he never wore any underwear. He'd run back out in uniform and yell, "All right, let's get him." Sam Crawford.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves trail 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Austin Riley steps in against Jacob deGrom. Riley in a bit of a slump, been moved down to the number 4 slot in the order. First pitch on the way is a fastball, misses off the plate wide. It's 1-0. Austin Riley for the year, 275 batting average, 37 home runs, 92 RBI, 2 stolen bases, and an 881 OPS. The 1-0 pitch swung on and hit high. It's hit deep. It's going back on the track, over the wall. Then boom, bam. It's a tie ball game. The rake has taken deGrom deep. A slider that just hung, and Austin Riley did not miss it. Braves faithful are standing and cheering him on as he hits the dugout. A big, big run to get the Braves on the board. That ball got out in a hurry. I'll get the numbers to you here in a second. So Braves won, Mets won. We start over, and that brings Matt Olson to the plate. Matt Olson, first pitch swinging and fouls a 99-mile-an-hour fastball to the backstop, and it's 0-1. That home run by Austin Riley left in a hurry, 106 miles an hour, 422 feet, and at a 23-degree angle. It was sizzling. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball high and out of the zone. It's 1-1. Standing on deck is Travis d'Arnaud, and William Contreras is in the hole. We get any more runners going this inning, Eddie Rosario will come to the plate. The 1-1 pitch inside, and it's 2-1. Always like to see a player who has made a defensive gaffe in the previous inning to try to get back to the plate the following inning, because you know he wants to make up for it. The 2-1 pitch, fastball misses off wide. It's 3-1. The 3-1 delivery to Matt Olson. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. They set up outside, swung on and belted deep to right center field. Duck, baby, it might be coming through your window. It's 2-1, Hotlanta, GA. Matt Olson absolutely went scorched earth on that ball. It went over the bullpen about 4 rows deep back, and that one left in a hurry. We'll get those numbers to you in a second. A hot shot makes it 2-1 Atlanta, a much needed lead for these Braves. Olson absolutely knew it. He had a hitch in his step the moment he swung. That'll bring Travis d'Arnaud to the plate. d'Arnaud swings and misses at the first pitch. Fastball top shelf, 100 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. Matt Olson, that ball, you think the first one was hit hard. Listen to this. The 0-1 pitch misses wide. It's 1-1. Matt Olson, 110 miles an hour. It went 430 happy feet into the right center field stands to give the Braves a 1-run lead. Travis d'Arnaud asks for time, and he'll step out of the box. d'Arnaud batting .270 on the year, 18 home runs. The 1-1 pitch from DeGrom. Swung on and hit high, but not very deep into center field. Underneath it is Nemo, and there's one away. The right-left punch of Riley and Olson. If you're just joining us, they've gone yard back-to-back in this inning. Solo shots. And I don't think I've ever seen Matt Olson that animated. I didn't notice it the first time, but he actually did. I don't know if you can call it a bat flip, but kind of a bat toss towards the dugout. You know, this game is big for both sides. This is what baseball is all about. First pitch on the way to Contreras is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. I was a little nervous we were going to have the game here today. We were right in the middle of that hurricane, and we've been losing power and internet for the last 24 hours. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball inside, called for a strike. It's 0-2. But thankfully, everything got restored. Hopefully we don't lose you tonight. The 0-2 pitch swung on and grounded over to short. Grounded, and Lindor's got it, scoops and flips it over to first. He'll get Contreras, who was busting it down the line by about a step. He was kind of nonchalantly making the play, caught it off about the second or third hop there. When he realized Contreras was running as fast as he was, he had to kind of put a giddy up in his step. So Lindor makes the play, but he almost got caught napping. That will bring Eddie Rosario to the plate. You know, he wants to make up for the run that he caused Atlanta in the top of the inning. Rosario, if the Braves are going to go as deep as they did last year, they need him to get going, as Rosario was the NLCS MVP. The first pitch to Rosario is swung on and banged foul out of play. It's 0-1. Slider was on the outside part of the plate. Pitcher's pitch. Rosario probably shouldn't have swung at that, but I'm sure he was over anxious. Braves 2, Mets 1. Bottom of the second inning. The 0-1 delivery. Fastball misses high. Rosario has to bend out of the way, and it's 1-1. Pitch was over the plate, but high. Wasn't really close to hitting him, but it was about eye level, so natural reaction. The 1-1 pitch to Rosario. Inside, slider misses. They checked down the line. I don't know why. He didn't even begin to offer at that. It's 2-1. He more just had to get out of the way. His bat moved a little bit. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 3, 3-1. DeGrom is now up to 30 pitches. Remember, he struggled his last time out. That's got to be in the back of his mind. Now giving up 2 early home runs. One of the best there is in the game. Any advantage Atlanta can get, they will love it. The 3-1 pitch to Eddie. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. A full count to Rosario. Eddie Rosario stares in at DeGrom. DeGrom's got his glove up around his eyes. He'll kick and deal, swing and a miss, strike 3, fastball, chase it out of the zone, high and in his kitchen, and that'll end the inning. But not before your Atlanta Braves put 2 on the board. Solo blast by Riley over to the center field wall, and Olsen over right center, make it 2-1, hot Atlanta.
Make sure to listen to the armchair quarterbacks. The armchair quarterbacks are good enough for us down here in the bayou. Go Tigers and the armchair quarterbacks.
ACC football covered like no other here on the Armchair Quarterback.
Reggie Gillespie dives into the end zone. The winning points for North Carolina State. And the teams come together in the end zone, pushing, shoving between the pack and the heels as Gillespie has scored the winning points. His 5th rushing TD, but these teams need to be separated. The emotion boils over on the last play of the game as Gillespie goes to the end zone. And it's a sea of Carolina blue and State red.
And Carruthers gets into it, and they've doused him, and now we've got a big brawl out on the field. Marring would have been the 200th victory for Bobby Bodlin. Look at this. That's an ugly mess down there. This is ugly. Starting to get it cleared up down there. Oh, there's still some bodies flying around.
ACC football, backyard brawls all year long. Been chomping at the bit ever since I've sold this at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, what am I looking at? This dude's wearing a sports bra. No one else wants to talk about that. Like the announcers didn't bring it up or nothing. There's that's a really goal, and they start breaking down the goal. Say, screw the goal, break down the fact the dude's wearing a sports bra, and then showing it off.
Armchair.
Will happily pay 75 cents to $1.50 to go to the theater, and numbers prefer baseball to theatricals. We must make the games worth witnessing, and there will be no fault found with the price. A good game is worth 50 cents. A poor one is dear at 25. Harry Wright.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the Mets 2-1. The first pitch on the way from Fried is a swing and a miss curveball for a strike. And it's 0-1. Curveball taken right there at the knees. Max Fried now going back to work with a 1-run lead. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-1. Darno was set up on the outer edge with the glove low, and that fastball just sailed on him. Braves 2, Mets 1, top of the third inning. The 1-1. Fastball swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. Brandon Nimmo, a very pesky leadoff hitter. He'll shorten up his swing when he gets to 2 strikes. Been known to have a lot of really long at bats. One comes to mind against Atlanta earlier this year where he went 11 pitches. The 1-2 on the way. Swung on, check swing, fouls it down the line again. We'll do it again at 1-2. When he gets 2 strikes on him, he's really just trying to punch it into the outfield, typically. So you don't get a lot of big swing and misses from him. The 1-2 from Fried. They set up outside and curveball misses just inside. It's 2-2. Good take by Nimmo. Kansas City leads Cleveland 2-0 in the 4th. And Aaron Judge has not gone yard yet, so he still sits at 61. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and just gets a piece of it to stay alive. It's 2-2. That's how they got him last time up, Brandon Nimmo. So you got a 2-2 count. The 7th pitch of the at bat. They set up inside. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and bounced back over the mound to Dansby Swanson. Swanson's got it. He can take his time, flipping it over to first, and there's 1 away. Trying to bust it out of the box. Nimmo stumbled a little bit, so didn't get a very good start heading towards first. He kept his balance. It appears to be okay. But Swanson, once he saw that, realized he could take his time, and there's 1 away. Alonso comes to the plate. Pete Alonso's 1 for 1 with a single to the outfield. His first time up. The first pitch to Alonso swung on and hit high, but not very deep. Underneath it is Harris in center field. He'll make the grab, and there's quickly 2 away. Max Fried, last 10 starts, a 1.78 ERA. He's hoping to continue the good pitching as we head towards October. We are in the last day of September. Can you believe it? The first pitch on the way to Fried is down below the knees. It's 1-0. Fried facing Francisco Lindor, who is 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice in the first. The 1-0 swung on and popped up out of play, evening up the count. Lindor, a switch hitter from the right side of the plate. Against the lefty Max Fried. The Braves played the defense pretty straight up, a slight shift, but nothing over exaggerated. The 1-1 delivery on the way. Fastball misses high and inside. It's 2-1. The 2-1 delivery from Freed. Swing and fouls it back out of play. We'll do it again. Evened up the count at 2-2. So you got 2 outs, nobody on. A 2-2 pitch to Francisco Lindor. Max trying to have a shutdown inning. After the Braves put 2 up on the board. The 2-2 from Freed. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Could not touch the curveball in the outer part of the plate. Down low, and that'll end the inning. When we come back, Arcia, Acuna, and Dansby are coming to the plate.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you. And God bless America.
Le'Veon Bell, he put out a single for people to listen to on Twitter of a rap album that he's really proud of. He asked for people to critique it. Keenan Allen, the receiver of the Chargers, came back with the trash emoji.
Appreciate your honesty.
And what's even better, I can't do it justice because we're on radio. You've got to see the video. The video that he put up. Oh my God. It's like the most funny and exciting thing I have ever seen because it's like really bad late 80s, early 90s rap video. But anyways, the video is the best part of the whole thing. He's got a hoodie on. It's staged almost like black and white. He's like under a bridge somewhere where there's like a bonfire going.
Hard times.
So like, yeah.
Hard times.
You know, hard times for a guy making millions.
He can relate.
But the funniest part is when he's got the hoodie on, he's doing poses and stuff like that and kind of jiving around. And then this is the funniest part. Out of nowhere, he sorry, I can't get it out. He comes up from under the screen. So in other words, like his,
from the Muppets or something?
almost like the Muppets.
When you see just the figure just come straight up.
Yes, the gig comes straight up while he's also in the background. It's like the worst thing put together ever. I don't know how to edit a video. We could do better than this. I'm telling you.
Who's the director, Pouncy?
Armchair.
Harry Wright eats baseball, breathes baseball, thinks baseball, dreams baseball, and incorporates baseball in his prayers. Cincinnati Enquirer.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way to Arcia is a fastball, top of the zone, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from DeGrom, 99-mile-an-hour fastball, misses outside, evens up the count at 1-1. Orlando Arcia, a 738 OPS. The 1-1 pitch swung on and rifled into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And the Braves have a leadoff single to get things going here in the bottom of the third with the top of the order coming to the plate. Wasn't a bad pitch by DeGrom. It was a fastball on the outer edge. Just a good job by Arcia to step into that, not try to do too much, send it right back where it came from. So that'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Acuna 0 for 1 with the ground out in the first inning. DeGrom steps off the rubber and we'll have a quick time here. Acuna readjusts his pads and gets ready for the first pitch of the at-bat. They set up outside. The first pitch is swung on, and it is a dribbler in front of the mound. They're going to jump on it and fire it down to first, but on the play, Arcia makes it down to second. So there's one on and one away. Looked like the slider that he just barely got a piece of it to dribble it out in front. So really worked like I know it's been famously talked about all week, past couple of weeks, I guess, that the Braves could become the first team in the history of Major League Baseball to go 162 games without a bunt attempt. But that was essentially a swinging bunt. even if they do drop one bunt, the lowest total ever was 4. So they're going to crush that record regardless. The first pitch on the way to Swanson is swung on and missed, fastball right down the pipe, and it's 0-1. Dansby Swanson 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up against DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom, a free agent in the offseason. Here's the 0-1, and fastball misses high. It's 1-1. That actually might have been his changeup. Hit the radar at only 90, which is low for DeGrom. It just didn't have that changeup movement. Braves 2, Mets 1. Bottom of the third inning. Dansby Swanson trying to get the runner in. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and banged foul off the plate. Catcher Thomas Nito could not hang on to the foul tip. It's 1-2. Standing on deck is Michael Harris. Should be noted that DeGrom kind of is walking around looking at his hand and whatnot. It looks like the trainer is talking to the Mets manager, Buck Showalter. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Swanson, swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. I doubt DeGrom wants to come out of this game. He was giving that look almost like pitchers typically get when they're starting to develop a blister. If the Mets do not win the division, they would need him in that first round. So I don't know if he does have any kind of small injury, what they would be willing to risk. Arcia runs back to second as DeGrom spun around. We'll do it again at 1-2. The 1-2 from DeGrom. They set up outside, slider down below the knees. Good eye by Dansby, did not offer, and it's 2-2. Braves 2, Mets 1. Bottom of the third inning. If you're just joining us, 2 solo shots by Austin Riley and Matt Olson gave the Braves a 1-run lead. The 2-2 pitch from DeGrom. And right there at the knees, called strike 3. Dansby didn't like it. He took it, thought it was off the edge. According to pitch track, it did look like it just nipped the zone. And there's 2 away. So that'll bring Michael Harris, the second, to the plate. Harris, he's 0 for 1. Strike out his first time up as well. Batting almost 400 with runners in scoring position. The first pitch is rifled up the middle, and making the defensive play is Lindor. He fires it over to third, and they got the runner caught in a rundown. Arcia is going to try to get out of the pickle. They got him in a pickle. Here comes the throw, and they're going to tag him out at the heading towards home plate. The ball was hit hard into the hole, and Lindor had no chance of getting the speedy Harris. So Arcia was assuming there was going to be a throw. He rounded third, getting waved in, and we run ourselves out of an inning. We'll head to the top of the fourth with a 1-run lead.
Guess what? Lena found out how I got her number.
Really? How'd you do that? A friend of Susan's. My Susan?
Why'd you tell her?
You just robbed a house. You have all this great stuff that now belongs to you, but you got this annoying pang of guilt nagging at you. Well, worry no more, because your friends at Cell Block Greeting Cards have the answer for you. Introducing our new line of petty crime thank you cards. Before you smash and grab one of our cards and leave it behind on your next heist. Choose from any of these fine heartfelt cards like
Thank you for the plasma TV.
or
Thanks for the PlayStation, alcohol, and penny jar.
and
Don't use your toothbrush.
or limited time introducing
I'm still in the house.
and many more sentimental petty crime thank you cards. Available at any back alley, shadowy parking lot, or
Armchair.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Between 1900 and 1910, country boys and immigrant sons and factory workers and streetwise toughs played on thousands of teams in hundreds of leagues from Maine to California. For the first time, big league scouts began to travel the countryside on the lookout for future stars. Sports writers called them ivory hunters. It would be an era that placed a premium on pitching and speed, in which runs were assembled slowly, one base at a time. It would see one pitcher win 41 games in a single season, and the hardest hitting team hit just 16.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way to Fried, from Fried to Kanya, is a pitch called low for a ball. Same area, same exact area that Dansby was rung up for a third strike, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 from Fried on the way, swung on and hit hard over to Riley. Riley backhands it, fires it across the diamond. 5-3 put out, and there's one away. Good defensive play by Riley. He has been busy tonight. Couple of hot shots headed his way. The good defensive play will bring Jeff McNeil to the plate with nobody on. McNeil 1-for-1 with a single in the second. One of the higher batting averages in all of Major League Baseball, batting .322. McNeil comes to the plate, and the first thing you notice is that he is already choking up. The first pitch to McNeil is a curveball off the end of the plate, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Fried, swung on and hit into left field, going back and making the catch is Rosario. I'm sure he's getting a good old Bronx cheer. It's one away. So quickly 2 away. If Fried can get out of this inning pretty quickly, he's on pace for a fairly low pitch count. He's only at 52 pitches as Escobar stands to the plate. But Escobar, a tough customer who's already 1-for-1. First pitch swinging for a strike. Misses the slider on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Braves 2, Mets 1. Top of the fourth inning. Here's the pitch. Curveball swing and a miss. He went fishing for that one, and it's 0-2. Standing on deck is the rookie Alvarez. So you got an 0-2 count. Really like to get Escobar out here. The swing and a miss, strike 3. Uncle Charlie got him on the outer edge. He could not make contact, and that'll end the inning. The 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Riley, Olsen, and Darnode coming to the plate.
Today we are discussing crazy stats from Jamie Moyer's career. Over his career, he had 33 complete games and 10 shutouts. He is the last pitcher to log a shutout in 4 different decades. His last shutout was with the Phillies on May 7, 2010. With that shutout, he became the oldest pitcher to record a complete game shutout, a record that still stands. One not so great record that he holds is most home runs allowed in Major League history. Over his 25-year career, he allowed 522 home runs. When he had retired in 2012, he had faced 8.9% of Major League Baseball hitters ever. By the time he retired, about 19,000 different hitters had played in the majors, and he had faced roughly 1,700 of them. He pitched in 50 different ballparks. He was selected to his first and only All-Star game in 2003 at the age of 40. He never threw much harder than 82 or 83 miles per hour, according to Fangraphs. His changeups were clocked in the mid-60s during his career. One player described his changeup as throwing feathers. You don't think the ball can stay in the air that long. When he made his debut, the major league minimum was $60,000. Alex Rodriguez made more than that every time he stepped up to the plate from 2001 to the end of his career.
Baseball suits the character of this democratic nation. Democracy is government by persuasion. That means it requires patience. That means it involves a lot of compromise. Democracy is the slow politics of the half loaf. Baseball is the game of the long season, where small incremental differences decide who wins and who loses particular games, series, seasons. In baseball, you know going to the ballpark that the chances are you may win, but you also may lose. There's no certainty, no given. You know when a season starts that the best team is going to get beaten a third of the time.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Jacob deGrom versus Riley. Riley, who blasted a home run his last time up, takes the first pitch for a strike. High and little out of the zone. Riley did not like it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from deGrom swung on and popped up. Fouled way out of play. And it's 0-2. Riley, Olson, and Darnode. If anybody gets on, William Contreras. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, outer edge, missed the plate. But Dreckman's going to call that a strikeout, and there's one away. Ball probably missed the zone by about an inch or two. It gave him the benefit of the doubt. Riley shaking his head going back to the dugout. Did not like that at all. Can't blame him. So that'll bring Matt Olson to the plate. Matt Olson, 1 for 1 with a home run his last time up. First pitch to Olson is a slider, top of the zone, taken for a strike. It's 0-1. deGrom, though trailing in the game, has only thrown 47 pitches as the Braves have swung early and often. The 0-1 pitch, fastball. He's going to say that was a ball. That one looked more like a strike than the one that struck out Riley. It's 1-1. The 1-1 delivery from deGrom as Olson asked for time for a second, and he digs back in. deGrom was kind of taking his time. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back. 99. Letter high, and it's 1-2. Mets are in a full shift. Only Escobar is on the left-hand side of the infield, about 15 feet from second base. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 2. It's 2-2. Braves come into tonight just one game back of the New York Mets. The National League wild card, Philly is 2 behind San Diego. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Braves are atop the wild card. San Diego 2 weeks behind the Braves. Philly is 2 games behind San Diego, and Milwaukee is 1 game behind Philly for that final spot. The San Diego hasn't punched their ticket yet, but it's looking good for the Padres. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Took a little bit off of it. Looked like it might have been the slider, foul tipped into the glove. And it's 2 strikeouts to start the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring Travis d'Arnaud to the plate. Travis d'Arnaud is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. Righty-righty matchup is DeGrom. Wind up. Fastball swung on and hit high, but not very deep, giving chases the right fielder. Gonna run out of room. McNeil came a long way to try to make that play. Alonso was giving chase 2 from first, but he had no chance of getting to that. Went back about just over the netting in that first row where the folding chairs are in the right field corner area. So that'll make the count 0-1, and we're set for the play again. And the 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss. Slider on the outer edge. It's 0-2. DeGrom has used that slider quite a bit. It's been slider fastball predominantly tonight. About a 8 to 10 mile an hour difference in the 2 pitches. The 0-2 pitch set up outside, swung on, just gets a piece of it, bangs it off of the catcher, Nito, and his counterpart, Travis d'Arnaud, checking on him. Appears he's okay. Ball bounced off the ground and right into the knee of Nito, right where that protective padding is, but still getting banged on the knees, no fun. So 2 outs, 2 strikes on d'Arnaud. Here's the pitch from DeGrom on the way. Fastball got him high and looking, and that's strike 3. DeGrom strikes out the side. d'Arnaud doesn't like it, but doesn't say much. He wants those same calls for his pitcher. We'll head to the top of the 5th. It's 2-1 Braves.
Check this out. Did you guys know that Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Yeah. Now think about that, though. That's crazy. Like 2 cities in 1 state?
No, that's not crazy.
No, not at all.
No. All right. I don't think you understand. There's 2 cities in the same state. Like, how's that even possible?
All
Totally.
states have more than one
multiple
city.
cities.
No.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
no.
Yes.
There's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So that's what Pennsylvania is.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, so Philadelphia's not Pennsylvania?
No.
No, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. What is this man talking about?
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. The 1960 World Series was between the Pirates and the Yankees and ended with a walk-off homer by Pirates second baseman Bill Mazeroski. The MVP of that series wasn't Mazeroski, but instead it was Yankees player Bobby Richardson. His 12 RBIs led him to becoming the only World Series MVP who was on the losing team.
It is important to remember in an imperfect and fretful world that we have an institution which is practically above reproach and above criticism. Nobody worth mentioning wants to change its constitution or limit its powers. The government is not asked to inspect it, regulate, suppress, guarantee, or own it. There is no movement afoot that we know of to uplift it, like the stage, or to abolish it, like marriage. No one complains that it is vulgar, like the newspapers, or that it assassinates genius, like the magazines. It rouses no class passions, and while it has magnates, they go unhung with our approval. This once comparatively perfect flower of our sadly defective civilization is, of course, baseball, the only important institution, so far as we remember, which the United States regards with a practically universal approval. Saturday Evening Post.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. Max Fried will go back to work. He's set to face the rookie, the number one prospect in Major League Baseball. Heck of a home run hitter, 27 home runs this year in the minor leagues. Francisco Alvarez, righty-lefty matchup. Fried pitches the first pitch and swing and a miss, and the bat comes flying out of his hand. Goes up against the screening. Thank goodness that screening's there. Guillorme catches it off the bounce, tosses it back to Alvarez, and it's 0-1. Alvarez, last time up, hard hit ball right at Riley that turned into a double play. The 0-1 pitch, curveball right there at the knees, taken for a strike, and it's 0-2. He has swung and hit the fastball hard tonight. I would say they'll try to stay away from that. The 0-2 pitch, curveball misses outside. It's 1-2. Max Fried looks into Darnode. Sets up right down the middle. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and fouls it back. Curveball down below the zone. Alvarez stays alive. It's 1-2. The 1-2 just misses inside. Four-seam fastball just missed the inside part of the plate, and it evens up the count at 2-2. Francisco Alvarez, just 20 years old, 5'10", 233-pound barrel-chested catcher, DH role tonight. The 3-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone. The 2-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone. It's 3-2. Francisco Alvarez from Venezuela. The 3-2 pitch swung on and rifled right over to Olson. Olson's got the play. He'll make the flip over to Fried covering first base. And it's a 3-1 put out. One away here in the top of the fifth, trying to figure out what they were looking at. Fried, like, didn't look like Alvarez made contact with him when he ran across first base. I don't believe there's an injury, but the way they were reacting is a little strange. First pitch from Fried is on the way to Guillorme. It's a fastball right there, top of the zone, called for a strike. It's 0-1. Guillorme 1-for-1 with an RBI single in the second inning. The left-handed utility man gets ready, and the 0-1 pitch is right there at the knees, called for a strike. Good changeup, 84 miles an hour, right there at the caps, and it's 0-2. Braves would love to get a long outing by Max Fried tonight. The 0-2 pitch swung on and bang, foul down the first base line. We'll do it again at 0-2. Braves 2, Mets 1, top of the fifth inning. Max Fried gets set on the 0-2 pitch. Here's the delivery, and it is fouled. Grounded foul towards the first base dugout. We'll do it again at 0-2. Such big games the next two nights. The deeper your starter can go, each game would give you more leeway heading into the following game. With Scherzer on the mound for the Mets tomorrow. The 0-2 pitch swung on and grounded over towards second. Arcia's got it. Covering the first base bag is Olson. makes the catch, 4-3 put out in. There's 2 away. Good start to the inning here for the Braves, who were clinging to a 2-1 lead, top of the 5th inning. If you're just joining us, the Braves scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, solo shots by Riley and Olson back to back. The Mets scored their run in the top of the 2nd. Some fly balls that were not well played by Rosario, though not recorded as errors. 2 of them equaled into a run. The first pitch on the way to Thomas Nido is a swing and a miss strike. Slider on the outer edge. It's 0-1. 5th inning, so it's time we start turning back time here on Braves Country Baseball. The 0-1 pitch from Fried. Off the plate wide. Changeup misses. It's 1-1. On this date, 1927, Babe Ruth hit his 60th home run versus the Washington Senators in Yankee Stadium. In that game, Walter Johnson pinch hit his last appearance in Major League Baseball. The 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss strike. Change up on the outer edge. It's 1-2. Of course, Walter Johnson went to the Hall of Fame for his pitching, but came in as a pinch hitter in that game long before the DH. The 1-2 pitch swung on and grounded over to Riley. Riley's got it, fires it over to first, and that will end the inning. 5-3 put out, and the Braves get them 3 up, 3 down. Fried is pitching well. It's Contreras, Rosario, and Arcia coming to the plate.
Let me sum it up. Twitter is stupid, and Instagram is Twitter for people who can't read.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I'll be bringing you Braves baseball play-by-play for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves Country Baseball every Friday night, first pitch to last pitch, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
This year, choose a yogurt that's right for you. With 2 grams of sugar per 5.3 ounce serving, Too Good Greek yogurt is too good to be true. So Delicious dairy-free yogurt and Silk yogurt alternatives are delicious plant-based swaps you can enjoy by the spoon or add to recipes. Oikos 000 yogurt and Light and Fit yogurt are tasty, non-fat yogurt options. So many flavors, varieties, and possibilities. Elevate any recipe and your everyday with yogurt.
The magnitude of the conspiracy stunned the baseball world. The Louisville Grays suspended the accused players, who claimed they had only done it because their owners had failed to pay them their wages. Devlin was brought before National League President William Hulbert.
Devlin was in tears. Hulbert was in tears. I saw Hulbert take a $50 bill and press it into the palm of the prostrate player. And then I heard him say, "That's what I think of you personally. Damn you, Devlin, you are dishonest. You have sold a game, and I can't trust you. Now go and let me never see your face again, for your act will not be condoned so long as I live. Albert Goodwill Spaulding."
Welcome back here to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the Mets 2-1, and we'll grab the bats. William Contreras comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the night. And the first pitch, Contreras is going to ask for time for a second, steps out and does one more practice swing. DeGrom was kind of taking his time, so Contreras, cat and mouse game. The first pitch from DeGrom is a swing and a miss. Slider on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Contreras gets set, and the 0-1 pitch chases a slider well off the plate. It's 0-2. Contreras Last time up was flailing at that slider. The 0-2 pitch. They tried to get him to go again. Why not? This time he holds off, and it's 1-2. Rosario on deck. Arcia in the hole. He's gone slider, slider, slider so far on the outer edge. Contreras asks for time one more time. Steps out of the box. The 1-2 pitch from DeGrom on the way off the plate, and it's 2-2. Mets bullpen well rested, having yesterday off as well. And remember, they have gone to Diaz for multiple innings. The 2-2 pitch off the plate, slider misses. It's 3-2. He has essentially gone the same pitch 5 pitches in a row, trying to get Contreras to chase. Definitely not trying to give him any kind of fastball where he can pull. The 3-2 pitch, fastball swung on and fouled back off the edge of the plate. We'll do it again at 3-2. A full count to William Contreras. Eddie Rosario stands on deck from the left-hand side. DeGrom looks in, and we'll get another time by William Contreras. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, and there's one away. Contreras asking if that pitch was in the zone as he walked away. It definitely was. He set him up outside, outside, outside the first 6 pitches of the at-bat, and then came in with 99 right there on the black in the top of the zone. Hard to catch up to that. So that'll bring up Eddie Rosario to the plate. Rosario 0 for 1 on the night. First pitch from DeGrom on the way, and it's a fastball, misses high. And it's 1-0. On this date in 1934, Dizzy Dean wins his 30th game of the year, becoming one of only 4 to ever do that in the modern era. That list is Lefty Grove. In 1931, the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. It's 1-1. Slider on the inner part of the plate. Jim Bagby in 1920 and Denny McClain, the last to do it in 1968. The 1-1 pitch swung on and hit hard down the right field line, but foul. Just foul. It's 1-2. Braves 2, Mets 1. On this date in 2012, the Braves beat the Mets 6-2. What is significant about that is Rosario asked for time. It became Atlanta's 23rd straight win with Chris Medlin towing the rubber, a National League record. The 1-2 pitch outside misses for a ball. It's 2-2. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. And Jacob DeGrom is mowing him down now. He has struck out his last 5 batters. DeGrom on the night, 9 strikeouts in the 5th inning. Orlando Arcia comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1, a single in the 3rd. The first pitch is a fastball inside corner, top of the zone. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swing and a miss, strike 2, slider, and it's 0-2. That low slider on the outer part of the plate, just past the knees, hard to lay off. The 0-2 pitch. Slider, that one was in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Colin McHugh is warming up in the Braves bullpen. You wonder if something is wrong with Max Fried, because Fried has been rolling. The 1-2 pitch swung on and popped up. Can of corn over towards short. Lindor's got it, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Will head to the top of the 6th, leading by 1.
That reminds me, I had a dream about your sister yesterday.
My sister? Yeah. What do you mean dream? What kind of dream?
A sex dream.
Oh, that's my sister we're talking about.
You're having sex with my sister in reality.
But that's my wife. I got a contract with the priest. You're having premarital sex dreams.
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. Future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols pitched in a game for the first time in his career. His pitching debut came in his 2,988th career game, which breaks the old record by over 500 games. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, together they broke the record for most wins by a battery in MLB history with 203 wins together.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell that. Everybody's like, football is a team game. Okay, it's not a team game. Okay, I did my part. All right, I put in a great game plan. I mean, these players, they're horrible. My players are no good. I mean, everyone's like, no excuses. I got 22 excuses, 11 on my offense and 11 on my defense. Our offensive coordinator is terrible. He gets half of his plays off of Madden. Red zone defense is like Oprah. Like, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. Our quarterback, look at the playbook. We put in plays for Peyton Manning. He plays like Cooper Manning. We tried to recruit bigger, better players to come play for us, but they went to good schools. I'm down to Rick Pitino some guys if I need to, but not at this level. I'm not going to jail for these kids.
Armchair.
The greatest competitions, I think, in sports is the pitcher and the hitter. Now, I'm going to hit this ball. See, right now, I'm going to be better than you. And this pitcher's saying the same thing. I'm going to be better than you at this particular moment. This is in a pressure situation. So, and you are competing, and it's nobody can help you. Nobody can block for you in this. You got to do it on your own.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Fried has come out of the game. Now, we haven't gotten word on what the reasoning behind it is, but he had only thrown 71 pitches. He was pitching well. They showed a video of him heading towards the dugout in the middle of the inning. We hope it's just something precautionary. But nonetheless, Colin McHugh enters the game. McHugh will be saddled with trying to hold on to this lead. So, like I was saying before, just moments ago, you'd love to get a long start by your starter tonight, but Fried, for whatever reason, had to come out. That's going to tax the bullpen tonight. Tomorrow is Kyle Wright and then Charlie Morton. The Braves needing to win 2 of these 3 games. You just hope it wasn't a serious injury. So Colin McHugh finishing up his warm-up tosses is he's coming in because of injury, so they're giving him enough time to get ready. He is going to be set to face Nemo, Alonso, and Lindor, the top of the order. So a game that looked like it was going the Braves' way just got a little more interesting. The first pitch from McHugh is on the way and called strike high. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Slider misses down low inside. It's 1-1. McHugh gets set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Misses high and away. It's 2-1. Braves 2, Mets 1, top of the 6th inning. Nobody out. McHugh kicks and deals. Swing and fouls it down the line. Evens up the count at 2-2. Checking in on the chase for history. Aaron Judge is homerless tonight. He does have a base hit and a walk. The 2-2 from McHugh. On the way and up the middle, backhanded by Arcia, but no chance of getting Nemo, who was hauling it down the first base line. The Mets have an infield single to get the inning going. Arcia had to go to the ground in the hole. By the time he jumped up and threw it over first, it was a good defensive play, but he really had no chance. He probably should have never even thrown it. So that'll put one on. Nobody out. And the Mets slugger, Pete Alonso, coming to the plate. Alonso's 1 for 2 on the night. The first pitch is swung on and grounded up the middle. Honors Arcia. He's got it, and it's going to be a 4-3 double play. Arcia, good defensive play once again. Scoops and just waves Dansby off from making the throw. Cut out the middle, man. Do it yourself, and it's an easy double play. Alonso, who does not run fast, kind of jogging down first base line, so Arcia had plenty of time. So that'll bring up Francisco Lindor to the plate. Lindor is 0 for 2 from the right side, but now with the injury to Fried, he's on the left side, and the first pitch to Lindor is a fastball out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Top of the zone, called for a strike. Cutter inside corner, and it's 1-1. Braves are playing Lindor to pull. Dansby Swanson's the lone defender on the left side of the infield. Riley standing in shallow right. The 1-1 pitch from McHugh misses outside, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Yeah, slider misses outside. It's 3-1. Standing on deck is Mark Kanya. The 3-1 pitch from McHugh on the way, swung on and grounded over to second. Arcia's got it, and he was the man of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down after the double play. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, and I've got an update on Max Fried. We'll be back in a flash.
She got Sheldon to go to a psychic with her. Psychic? He considers them not just mumbo jumbo, but extra jumbo mumbo jumbo. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they're friends. I just wish he'd be that comfortable around me already. It took him a long time to get comfortable around me, too. Really? What did you do? Something terrible in a former life? I don't know.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. On June 11th, 1938, Johnny Vandermeer threw a no-hitter against the Boston Bees. Just 4 days later, Vandermeer threw a second no-hitter, this time against the Dodgers. To this date, Vandermeer is still the only player in baseball history to throw 2 straight no-hitters. In 1970, the Cardinals signed a catcher out of high school named Randy Poffo. He played in the minors for the Cardinals and the Reds for 4 years before quitting baseball. He instead pursued professional wrestling, where he became the legendary Macho Man Randy Savage.
All right, just wash your hands before you use it. I don't get your germs.
Whoa, washing your hands is healthy? I did it because it felt good. I have so much to learn.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
After Cleveland's great pitcher Addie Joss died, his fellow ball players staged a benefit game to aid his widow. All the great stars came: Walter Johnson, Smokey Joe Wood, Napoleon Lajoie, and Ty Cobb. The game was a great success. They managed to raise $12,931, but it only increased the players' anxiety. With no pensions of their own, or job security, or grievance procedure with the owners, they felt powerless. They now formed a players' fraternity. It had 2 goals: to rid baseball of the hated reserve clause and to gain a larger share of the profits for the men who made those profits possible. At first, they got nowhere. The owners simply ignored them.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead it 2-1. The first pitch on the way from DeGrom is a fastball, misses outside to Acuna, and it's 1-0. Got an update on Max Fried. It appears, first reports, reason why he left the game was possibly because he might have been sick. He kind of looked a little weary as he headed towards the dugout. And that's what I thought too when I first saw it, but I didn't want to get more clarification. The 1-0 pitch swung on and popped up, hit high, but going foul into the left field corner and out of play. That was a skyscraper. Acuna kind of shrugs, thinking that he just missed that. Man, did he hit that a mile in the air. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, slider off the edge. It's 1-2. Braves 2, Mets nothing. The 1-2 pitch from DeGrom is slider, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ronald Acuna went fishing out of the zone, and there's one away. If you're keeping tabs at home, that's the 10th strikeout for Jacob DeGrom. That'll bring Dansby Swanson to the plate. Swanson's 0 for 2, and he has struck out twice. Finishing up the turn back time on this date in 2005, 2 very important things happened. So 17 years ago today, as the first pitch to Swanson, it's hit high, it's hit deep, it's going back on the track over the wall. Then boom, bam. A solo bomb by Dansby Swanson makes it 3-1 Hot Atlanta. Rifled the 23rd home run of the season into the cheap seats, and the Braves get a little more breathing room here in the bottom of the 6th. DeGrom has given up 3 solo shots tonight. That ball was absolutely hammered. We'll get the numbers here in a second. Michael Harris comes to the plate, and he takes the first pitch outside fastball, and it's 1-0. The home run numbers for Swanson, the 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled off down the third base line, well out of play. into the upper deck, and it's 1-1. 107 miles an hour off the bat. 441 happy feet make it 3-1 Atlanta. The 1-1 pitch swung on and hit high and deep into left field, going back on the track, making the catch is Kanya, and it's a loud out for the second of the inning. Jacob deGrom, by the way, now at 80 pitches. So they could run him back out there for another inning. They typically don't. They typically only have him pitch 6 innings. Now we'll see if what they do, considering how important this game is. And he has given up 3 home runs. First pitch on the way to Riley is a slider off the plate, and it's 1-0. And though that was an out by Harris, he gave that one a ride. The 1-0 pitch. Slider misses outside, 2-0. You got to figure, with it being so important for the Mets to win at least one of these games, at some point, whether they have the lead or not, you might see Edwin Diaz as the 2-0 pitch, fastball called for a strike, top shelf outer edge. It's 2-1. You might see Edwin Diaz for 2 innings, depending on when he comes in the first time in the series. If the Braves were to put this one away and they don't use him tonight, the 2-1 pitch is fastball misses high. It's 3-1. Then you may not see that, because they may want to use him back-to-back nights on Saturday and Sunday. But if at a close game, you could burn Diaz for 2 innings tonight and then get him back out there on Sunday. The 3-1 pitch from deGrom, fastball right there, just kisses the black, and it's 3-2. Technically, Pitch Track has that called a ball on the outer edge. But deGrom, the kind of night he's had with all the strikeouts, he's going to get the benefit of that doubt. The 3-2 delivery to Riley, swing and a miss, strike 3, fastball, top of the zone, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Atlanta Braves put one on the board. Dansby Swanson goes yard, will head to the top of the 7th inning, leading by just 2.
1971. That was my first year on the job. Bad year for libraries. Hippies burning library cards. Abby Huffman telling everybody to steal books. I don't judge a man by the length of his hair or the kind of music he listens to. Rock was never my bag. But you put on a pair of shoes when you walk into the New York Public Library, fella. Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to. I've seen your type before. Flashy, making the scene. I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
Lager, the beer that brought the forest down. I drive an exotic imported sports car. I eat exotic foreign food like frankfurters and pizza. But when it comes to numbing my mind, I'm a patriot. I drink the beer that brought the forest down. I'm a lager man. And with the new 80-bottle Trump pack, you've got enough for the evening. Hey, it's happy hour somewhere. Lager brings out the patriot in you.
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. If you ever want to break into Randy Johnson's house, you might want to think again. When being interviewed about gun violence in 1995, Johnson was quoted as saying, "I don't own a gun, but I keep a bag of baseballs near our bed. If someone breaks in, they better be wearing a batting helmet because I'm going to throw at their head."
Ebbets spent $750,000 to build his park, with its marble rotunda and chandeliers made in the form of bats and balls. So much that he had to sell half his interest in the team to pay his debts. Ebbets Field opened to the public on April 5th, 1913, with an exhibition game against the Highlanders, who officially changed their name that spring to the New York Yankees. Brooklyn won 3-2. An inside the park home run by a young former dental student named Casey Stengel made the difference. Over the next 45 summers, Ebbets Field would witness some of the worst baseball ever played and some of the very best.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves dumping out the bullpen tonight after Max Fried had to leave early, what is being rumored as an illness. Raciel Iglesias comes into the game, and the right-hander throws the first pitch top of the zone for a strike to Kanya, and it's 0-1. So it has been confirmed. It looks like Fried was just feeling ill, but not an injury. The 0-1 pitch swung on and banged off the plate. It's 0-2. Fried, 3 strikeouts, 5 innings, 1 run, though considered earned. I think Rosario would even tell you himself that it wasn't. The Braves would set up the rest of the way in this game in a perfect scenario. Iglesias in the 7th, Minter most likely in the 8th. And in the 9th, Jansen. The 0-2 pitch down below the knees, taken for a ball. It's 1-2. Iglesias in the past has gone multiple innings in his career. Did it a few times with the Angels, was asked to do it several times in Cincinnati. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Raciel gets him his first strikeout. Kanya down swinging, and there's 1 away. Finishing up that turn back time on this date 17 years ago. Check this out. Ichiro becomes the first player ever with 200 hits in 5 consecutive years. And on that same day, happening just moments later, Albert Pujols, the machine, hits his 200th career home run. Of course, now with 700. He became the 3rd youngest, the only 2 players who hit home runs at a younger age, Mel Ott and the Braves' Eddie Matthews. And that's your turn back time. The first pitch on the way to McNeil is a swing and a fouls it back right off the chest plate of Travis d'Arnaud. Seems to be okay, and it's 0-1. Ball might have actually ricocheted off his glove, too, and then banged the bottom of his mask. Baltimore leads the Yankees 2-1. That game is in the 7th. That's not the story. The story is Aaron Judge still has not hit number 62. As we'll monitor that all weekend. The 0-1 pitch swung on and hit high and deep into center field, going back on the track, making the catch is Michael Harris II, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. 2 away in the top of the 7th. Michael Harris got a beat on that quickly. Rosario was backing him up. So 2 outs. Iglesias, by the way, has only thrown 6 pitches. If he could get another quick out here, that could set him up for a couple of different scenarios. The first pitch on the way to Escobar is a changeup just off the plate. I guess it's 1-0. Max Fried, if you're just joining us, left the game, and it appears that it was an illness, not an injury. The 1-0 pitch misses outside wide. It's 2-0. He pitched well. It did look like they showed him possibly getting sick in the trash can in the dugout. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Swing and fouls it off. It's 2-1. Standing on deck for the Metropolitans is the rookie Alvarez. Though he is a rookie, he's the number 1 rated prospect in Major League Baseball, 27 home runs on the year. So you'd rather face him with nobody on. The 2-1 pitch from Iglesias. Swing and hammered down the right field line. Is that going to go? It's down off the wall. Acuna has a problem with it, but rebounds nicely, gets it back in, and it's a stand-up double for Escobar. Ball took a weird bounce off the wall over Acuna's head and then backspun right into his glove, fortunately. And the Mets have something cooking with 2 away. So not what you wanted to see. Escobar, who is a much better hitter from the left side of the plate, hammers that pitch down the line. And that'll bring the rookie Alvarez to the plate. Mets have the bullpen working as well. The first pitch to Alvarez is a fastball top of the zone, fouls it back right in his kitchen. It's 0-1. Braves 3, Mets 1. The 0-1 pitch, fastball right there, outer edge, froze Alvarez, and it's 0-2. Tomorrow night, Braves and Mets, 7:15 Eastern. We are back Sunday night, assuming the Braves win one of these next 2 games. The 0-2 pitch swung on and popped up high and deep into center field, going back just before the track. Harris makes the catch, and we're out of that inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch, y'all. It's the 7th inning in Braves country.
All right. Can't see you. Let me hear you. All right.
Casey was baseball mad, had the fever and had it bad. Just to root for the hometown crew every Sue. Katie Blue. On a Saturday, her young beau called to see if she'd like to go to see a show, but Miss Kate said no. I'll tell you what you can do.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around at the old ball game.
Casey saw all the games, knew the players by their first names, told the umpire he was wrong all along, good and strong. When the score was just 2-2, Casey knew what to do. Just to cheer up the boys she knew, she made the gang sing this song.
Me out to the ball game. Me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead it by just 2, and Tyler McGill is coming out of the bullpen for the New York Mets. McGill, once a starter for the Mets, and was a pretty good starter, has struggled a little bit down the stretch this year, bloating his ERA to 5.04. He's got 13 appearances, 44 innings. He's set to face Matt Olson, Travis d'Arnaud, and Contreras, the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Braves order tonight. The first pitch on the way to Olson is a fastball, miss high out of the zone. It's 1-0. If you're just joining us, Matt Olson went yard his first time up, blasted what is now the go-ahead run and possibly winning run. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, and that ball is rifled into right field. A 2-hopper to the right fielder, McNeil. He's got it, but it's a leadoff single for the Ice House to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Braves would love to get some insurance runs here. Tell you what, that young kid for the Mets, Alvarez, the 20-year-old, he's going to be a problem because the Braves have gotten him out each time. He's hit the ball well, and you just see his swing. It's very compact and very level swing. Very impressed by him so far. So Travis d'Arnaud comes to the plate, and the first pitch on the way to d'Arnaud is a slider well wide, almost gets away from the hind catcher, and it's 1-0. Good play by Nito to keep that ball from going to the backstop. Even the slow-footed Olson would have made it to third, as wild as that throw was. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one, top shelf, and it's 1-1. AJ Minter is warming up in the Atlanta bullpen, as they are set to have Guillorme, Nito, and Nemo coming to the plate, two lefties and a righty. Now, whether or not they'll pinch hit for Guillorme, but as of right now, he would face two lefties and a righty. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and hit high and deep into right field, going off the wall, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Travis d'Arnaud. Olson goes first to third on the play. They don't try to send him. Olson, we all know he's not the fastest of runners. No sense of getting him mangled up in some collision at the plate. So the Braves have got something cooking here. Travis d'Arnaud does Travis d'Arnaud type things, going opposite field. That ball a little farther over to the left, it might have went out. Hit the top of the bricks. So that'll bring William Contreras to the plate, and he'd like to get himself onto the hit list. He's 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch on the way to Contreras is a swing and a miss strike. Fastball, top of the zone. It's 0-1. Braves 3, Mets 1. We are in the bottom of the 7th. The Mets have the infield defense in. The 0-1 pitch, swung on and popped up, but out of play. It's 0-2. On deck is Rosario, and then Arcia is in the hole. You wonder if they were to get Contreras out without giving up a run, if they may pitch around or walk Rosario to get to the righty and set up the double play. Used to, that was a no-brainer, but today's metrics, you never know what their computer sheets are spitting out to them. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back. Braves 3, Mets 1, bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Slider, good take by Contreras, a pitch that he has struck out from DeGrom on multiple occasions, but holds off there. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Contreras, a game that the Braves desperately need. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses off the plate wide. It's 2-2. The Braves were win tonight. We would be tied with the Mets with 2 more to play Saturday and Sunday. We would have the game here Sunday night. Tomorrow, it's Max Scherzer versus Kyle Wright, another great pitching matchup. The 2-2 swung on and popped up. Will that stay in play? Alonso's drifting back. He'll make the catch in foul territory. Olson, no chance of him tagging up. And there's one away. Would have liked to have seen Olson tag up and at least look like he might be going back. He just kind of nonchalantly went back there and touched third base, excuse me. You never know if Alonso has to throw the ball towards home. Never know if the ball could get away or. But anyways, that'll bring Eddie Rosario to the plate. Runners on second and third, one away. They've got the infield in. It looks like they are going to try to face him. Now, whether they'll pitch to him, as the first pitch is on the way to Rosario, swing and a miss, strike, fastball top of the zone, and it's 0-1. So it looks like they will pitch to Rosario. Rosario needing to find a way to get at least one of these runs in, get some breathing room between the Braves and the Mets. Runners on second and third, one out. The 0-1 pitch swung on and popped up high into center field. Going back is Nemo. Here comes Olsen. He'll jog home and score easily. Nemo's going to throw it into the infield, and Darnode is going to make it to third. Nemo threw it in. Doesn't have the strongest of arm, but also didn't really do a great job of getting under and around it. Now, that may not matter. There are two away, but I think if you're the Mets, you'd rather see the catcher still standing on second as opposed to anything could score him at third. So the Braves lead at 4-1 now on the sac fly from Rosario, and that'll bring Arcia to the plate. Orlando Arcia is 1 for 2, and the first pitch is a swing miss strike, top of the zone, and it's 0-1. Braves 3, Mets 1. The infield is deep. The 0-1 pitch inside almost clips Arcia on the jersey. He bends out of the way, even up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Here's the delivery off the plate wide. It's 2-1. Braves 4, Mets 1. Mets will have the bottom of the order due up next inning. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled back, fastball top of the zone, fouled it straight back, just missed that, and it's 2-2. AJ Minter looks ready to roll in the Braves bullpen. He will inherit at least a 3-run lead. The 2-2 from McGill. He's taking his time to look in. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball high and out of the zone, and it's 3-2. Braves 4, Mets 1. Mets scored to get it going at the top of the second. Braves answered with 2 in the bottom of the second. Then that tacked on 1 in the sixth, and 1 here in the seventh. We've got a runner on third and 2 away. The 3-2 pitch to Arcia. Swing! And that ball is hit high and deep into left field, off the wall. A run will score. Arcia's rounding first, heading to second, and it's a 2-out double. 5-1, Atlanta GA. He scalded that ball. Thought it had a chance to possibly get out. A frozen rope off the left field wall. The Braves take a commanding lead. Good piece of hitting by Arcia. It looks like Buck Showalter is going to make a pitching change, so we'll head to break. The Braves lead at 5-1. We'll be back in a flash.
Why would I spend $7 to see a movie that I could watch on TV?
Well, why go to a fine restaurant when you can just stick something in the microwave? Why go to the park and fly a kite when you can just pop a pill?
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. David Ortiz was actually sued by Jay-Z in 2010. Ortiz had opened up a nightclub in the Dominican Republic called 4040, which Jay-Z thought was too similar to his nightclubs, named the 4040 Club. Ortiz and Jay-Z reached an agreement, and the trademark infringement lawsuit was settled out of court.
World air quality is at an all-time low. But hey, that doesn't mean you can't have a little fun. New from Mattel, it's the greenhouse gas gun. Do you hate the snowman next door? Use the greenhouse gas gun. Want to piss off an entire room full of tree huggers? Use the greenhouse gas gun. There is simply no end to the amount of fun and respiratory disease you can have with the greenhouse gas gun.
Armchair.
You sit up watching us talk about nothing. Could it be because you're addicted to watching us talk about nothing?
No. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to what are you going to say wrong next? You know, Skip, I've never seen a man that can be wrong and keep the same straight face. I've seen Skip contradict himself so many times and look in the camera and not blink.
I think baseball is a great support to people who have emotional voids, gaps, emotional difficulties. That is to say, all of us. Those parts of us that don't function well, those parts of us that are sad or depressed, not every day, they can really use baseball. It isn't just the child in a wheelchair or the shut-in senior citizen listening to the radio that needs the game. There's part of us, part of everybody who's a baseball fan that needs the game at that level.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Braves lead it 5-1. The first pitch is on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. from May, and it's a first pitch strike. Change up right there, belt high, and it's 0-1. May with the 5.64 ERA. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-1. Braves 5, Mets 1, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Trevor May. 1-1 pitch is strike called. Change up top of the zone. It's 1-2. A little surprised that Ronald Acuna Jr. has not swung a couple of those pitches. They were sitting right there. May has pitched 22 innings this year. 33 years old, a 1.57 whip. The 1-2 pitch. Here's the delivery inside. Fastball misses high. It's 2-2. May, 33 years old, from Longview, Washington. Was drafted by the Phillies way back in 2008. The 2-2 pitch on the way, high and out of the zone, 97 miles an hour, bout helmet high over the plate, and it's 3-2. Runner on second in Orlando Arcia, 2 outs, a full count to Acuna. Swanson standing on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the changeup out of the zone, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Atlanta Braves put 2 on the board. Atlanta 5, New York 1. We head to the 8th.
You're talking about a bunch of unproven kids who were in the prom. You know, literally, they were in the prom like 6 months ago at their high school.
No, they weren't because they were
locked down.
Exactly.
Okay, they were at a
He's probably
some
from a big
promless teenagers.
If he's
You
from a
got
Big
my-
Ten
you got my
state,
point. They were in a.
if he's
in a
from a Big
virtual
Ten
prom.
state, he didn't have prom. I can guarantee you that.
They were at a virtual prom. Anyway, so yeah, it's tough for Wisconsin.
That's called
fans. Now,
porn. That's called porn.
stop it. They get a break this week because I got a mess to clean up, guys. Yeah.
Virtual
There's my
prom.
walk off for the day. Thanks, Mac.
Armchair.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. For those who don't know, normal human eyesight is 20/20 vision. A research study in 2019 found that the average baseball player has 20/13 vision, with the top 2% of MLB players having 29.2 vision. That means that some baseball players have vision that's more than twice as good as the normal human.
Hey, Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves baseball all season long. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, Tuesday and Friday nights, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1.
Ball players have to be able to cope with defeat more constantly than anyone else. It isn't just that they lose 4 times out of 6, it's they have to play again tomorrow. And if they lose tomorrow, that's 2 in a row. In a week, you can lose 7 in a row. A losing streak can mount up on you so much faster than a winning streak that it's a kind of terror that grips a team. It's like the spooky music that runs under baseball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 5-1. We head to the top of the 8th inning. You missed the news earlier. Charlie Morton, who had signed a 2-year deal last year, his contract has been extended. It was a club mutual option by both the club and Charlie, and it was signed today, so he will be back. AJ Minter comes into the game, and the lefty gets set, and there is a pinch hitter. Vientos will come in for Guillorme, and the first pitch to Vientos is a called ball, outer edge. It's 1-0. Mark Vientos, 143 batting average, 1 home run, 3 RBI, a 558 OPS. Lefty righty matchup. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1, fastball, top corner, and it's 1-1. Vientos, just 22 years old, and just 28 at bats in his career. The 1-1 pitch misses outside, ball 2, it's 2-1. Mark Vientos gets set on the 2-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back out of play. Upper deck behind home plate, and it's 2-2. Mark Vientos from Norwalk, Connecticut, drafted by the Mets in the 2nd round in 2017. Played high school baseball in American Heritage Plantation, in Plantation, Florida. The 2-2 pitch from Minter, swung on and hit hard on the ground, but Dansby's got it, flips it over to first, and that'll be a 6-3 putout to get us going here in the top of the 8th. So Vientos is put down, and that'll bring up the catcher, Thomas Nito. Nito 0 for 2 on the night with a fly out and a ground out, righty-lefty matchup. Appears that Albert Pujols has hit another home run, 701 for his career. First pitch misses inside to Nito, and it's 1-0. Pujols, you wonder if he'll change his mind. I mean, the guy is just absolutely raking, but he has been asked and he says he's done. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses high and out of the zone. It's 2-0. Hope all of y'all are safe and unaffected by the terrible storm that hit Southwest Florida, Hurricane Ian. We went through a little bit of it, but nowhere near what folks have had to endure. Came through our neck of the woods yesterday into late last night. Got some really heavy winds, lost some power, some internet and whatnot, but nothing to really complain about. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled back. It's 2-1. Baltimore trying to stave off elimination. They're 5 games back in the wild card with just 6 to play. They do lead the Yankees 2-1 late in that game in the Bronx. Of course, all eyes on Judge. They would need a minor miracle. The 2-1 pitch swung on and hit high and deep into center field, going over the wall, and that is gone. A solo shot by Nito makes it 5-2, and things just got a little bit tighter here in Atlanta. Fastball top of the zone, and he drills it over the wall. So now the Braves lead by only 3, and the top of the order is heading to the plate. Pitch that I'm sure Mentor would love to have back. Fastball about letter high in the middle of the plate. It was a high pitch, so I'll tell you what, neither did a great job of being able to extend his arms to get that out. So that'll bring Nemo to the plate, and the first pitch to Nemo is a fastball inside, taken for a ball, 1-0. Brandon Nemo had to bend backwards, 91-mile-an-hour cutter that didn't cut. Nemo is 1 for 3 on the night. The leadoff hitter for the New York Mets. Batting .266 on the year, a .778 OPS. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Cutter, top of the zone, called for a strike, and it's 1-1. Pete Alonso stands on deck. And Lindor, representing the tying run, is in the hole. The 1-1 for Mentor. Swung on and fouled back. 96 miles an hour, top of the zone, and it's 1-2. Kyle Wright on the bump tomorrow. Charlie Morton on Sunday. They'll face Max Scherzer and Chris Bassett the next 2 days. The 1-2 pitch swung on and just makes contact, choking up to make sure doesn't strike out, and it's 1-2. Braves 5, Mets 2, top of the 8th inning, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Just makes contact and fouls it out of the way. Do it again at 1-2. Atlanta 5 outs away from pulling back into first place. They've yet to be there by their lonesome. If they can somehow win tonight and beat Max Scherzer tomorrow night, they would be in first place for the first time all year, top of the standings. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball just misses off the plate, and it's 2-2. Pete Alonso lingering on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fastball got him on the inner part of the plate. I think he was looking for something out wide. Got right in his kitchen and into his hands. And there's 2 away. He was definitely stepping out. Trying to cover the outside part of the plate, and they busted him inside. I think that pitch might have actually been a mistake pitch because Darnode was set up on the outer edge. He had to backhand the ball, but it worked out perfectly. So that'll bring Pete Alonso to the plate. Pete Alonso, he's 1 for 3, takes the first pitch off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Alonso singled his first time up in the first inning. He now sits with 40 home runs, 131 RBI, 866 OPS with his own name in the throwing his own name in the hat for an NL MVP. The 1-0 pitch, fastball right there at the knees, taken for a strike, 97 on the inner cut. It's 1-1. Two outs. If the Braves can get Alonso here, it would be Lindor, Kanya, and McNeil due up in the bottom of the ninth, or top of the ninth, excuse me. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and inside. It's 2-1. Which would be ideal because you could possibly avoid facing Escobar again. Escobar has been one of their hottest bats. The 2-1 pitch. Cutter right there at the top of the zone, called for a strike. It's 2-2. Time to get to some birthdays. Happy 28th birthday to Travis Demerit. Of course, he was with the Braves earlier this season, also played for the Detroit Tigers in his career. Happy 47th birthday to Carlos Guillen of the Detroit Tiger fame. 2 outs, a 2-2 pitch. The number 2 hitter in the Mets order. Here's the pitch, swung on and popped up, giving chase over by the Braves dugout, and making the catch is Travis Darnode. We're out of the inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Swanson, Harrison, Riley coming to the plate.
Are you okay, pal?
Had a rough day on the job.
Are you going home now?
I was about to.
Well then, you just fulfilled the first rule of law enforcement. Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive.
Hey, baseball fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel is going to bring you the baseball game of the week on Thursday nights. Tones Ariola and Mac McGee bringing you the action, the biggest game of the week in all of Major League Baseball. That's Thursday nights this baseball season, the MLB game of the week, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Well, there's been so much going on. We have so much to talk about tonight. So let's just get right to it. All righty.
Church lady, I'm not going to whitewash it. I let my church down and I let my family down.
And then we let something else down, like our trousers.
The best of us keep as much of that childhood with us as we grow into adulthood as we can muster. And the most creative, the most happy, the most fortunate of us are those who don't lose the sense of play. And even after we're past the point of being able to actually play the game with any skill, if we love it, then it's like Peter Pan. We remain boys forever. We don't die.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com, Armchair Quarterbacks 1. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 5-2 off of 3 solo shots off of Jacob deGrom in the 2, 4, and 5 holes of Swanson, Riley, and Olson. 3 guys who have been struggling mightily in the month of September might be coming out of it as we're about to turn the page to October. New York Mets have a new pitcher in, Joely Rodriguez, 4.75 ERA, 52 appearances, 47 innings, 26 walks. The home plate umpire is coming out to talk to him. I believe he's got something that they're going to tell him it's distracting. And I see what it is. He's got a sleeve underneath his shirt. And the sleeves under his shirt are black with white squiggly lines, which would be very distracting from a hitter's perspective, because you have that white ball coming out of his hand with the black backdrop behind home plate, and then the black sleeve with the white squiggly lines could make it difficult to pick up the ball. Not only is that a competitive advantage, they also look at it as being part of player safety. So he rolled his sleeves up to where you cannot see that anymore. And that'll bring Dansby Swanson to the plate. Swanson gets set for the first pitch, and it's a strike there at the knees, 91-mile-an-hour sinker on the corner inside, and it's 0-1. Swanson 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a solo shot. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and banged off the plate. It's 0-2. Back to the birthdays. Happy 35th birthday to Kenley Jansen. We expect to see him in the next inning, 387 career saves. We do have a Mets birthday out there. Do y'all remember Dave Magadan? Magadan turned 60 years old today. He was on the 86 Mets. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and foul back out of play. Do it again at 0-2. Magadan was a infielder, played predominantly first base and third base. Pretty much in a platoon role on that 86 team. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Taken for a ball. It's 1-2. Martina Hingis in her 5 grand slams on the ATP. She turns 42 years old today. Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird himself, he turns 50. He still resides in Georgia. Swanson walks out of the box for a second. Now he's getting back in. Down 1-2 to Rodriguez. The 1-2 on the way. Change up off the plate wide. It's 2-2. Lacey Chabert turns 40 today, of Party of 5 fame. And Jenna Elfman from Dharma and Greg, she turns 51. And Marty Stewart, country music star, he's 64, and that's your birthdays. The 2-2 pitch swung on and hit hard on the ground over towards third. Good scoop and flip by Escobar will get Swanson out by about a step. And there's one away. That was a worm burner that Escobar played perfectly. That brings Michael Harris to the dish. Harris is 1 for 3. He had the infield single that ended up ending the inning because Arcia rounded second, was being sent. First pitch on the way to Michael is a Slider off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. Same two teams at it tomorrow night. I believe 7:15 is the first pitch. And then Sunday night baseball, we plan on bringing you a bonus coverage. The 1-0 pitch swung on and hammered high and deep down the right field line, but plenty foul. He absolutely crushed that ball. It's 1-1. Sunday night's coverage. First pitch is 7:08 Eastern. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Sinker right down the heart of the plate. I think Michael was sitting on something off speed, and it's 1-2. Any of you football fans out here, Armchair Quarterbacks 1 kickoff show tomorrow morning. The 1-2 pitch down below the knees. It's 2-2. We get things going at 9 a.m. Eastern, 3-hour kickoff show. Talk a little baseball and college football and even get into the NFL. The 2-2 pitch on the way, hit back up the middle. Lindor's got it. He flips it over to first and gets the streaking Harris by about a step, and there's 2 away. Armchair Quarterbacks 1 kickoff show, 9 a.m. to noon every Saturday. We also dive into the world of fantasy football in the last hour. A lot of big college football games tomorrow. I believe I saw there's 4 or 5 matchups in the top 25 alone that are facing off. You got Alabama, Arkansas, Florida State, Wake Forest, NC State, Clemson. Austin Riley comes to the plate, and he's first pitch swinging. It's going to be a grounder over to Lindor. He throws it across the diamond, and it's a 6-3 put out to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. The birthday boy, Kenley Jansen's coming into the game.
Could you imagine how hot I'd be if I ate right and took care of my body? I mean, I ain't going to do it, but could you imagine?
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. Kirk Gibson walking off Game 1 of the 1988 World Series is one of the most iconic home runs of all time. Despite how famous the play is, nobody knows where the home run ball itself is located. The bat, helmet, and jersey from that moment are all accounted for, but the ball has seemingly disappeared. The Steve Bartman incident was a very controversial play in which Bartman accidentally prevented a Cubs outfielder from catching a ball, which then spiraled into the Cubs losing the game and eventually the championship series. Cubs fans were livid with Bartman, but the actual Cubs team was apologetic. In fact, after winning it all in 2016, the Cubs decided to give Bartman a World Series ring.
Guess what? We played basketball in gym today.
I love basketball.
It was 5-on-5.
Did you guys win?
Well, it was tied with like 10 seconds left in the game.
Nice.
And I was over there. I was like, Kevin, because Kevin had the ball. I was like, throw me the ball. I'm open. And he didn't see me. So I ran to the top. I was like, I'm open, Kevin. And then everybody on my team was like, Kevin, Derek's open. And he threw it to me. And I looked at the time and it's 1 and down. And it's like 3, 2. And I just closed my eyes and I just throw the ball up.
And
it went over the backboard.
Armchair.
On September 20th, 1914, more than 100,000 people filled Cleveland's Brookside Stadium to see the Telling Strollers beat the Hannah Cleaners 8-3.
The ones I remember are the Greenville, Mississippi Buckshots, who were semi-pro, I guess they were called in those days. And they had jobs around town, but the main thing they did was play baseball. And they were a tobacco chewing crowd, and men were fearful that their daughters might go out with one of them, that kind of thing. They hung around the pool hall a lot when they weren't working or playing baseball. And they were all looking forward to a career.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the New York Mets 5-2. Kenley Jansen's coming into the game. Jansen pitched well of late. Comes in with a 3.6 ERA. The birthday boy turns 35 today. 37 saves in 44 opportunities, 60 innings pitched, excuse me, and 78 strikeouts. 108 whip. He'll face Lindor, Kanya, and McNeil. First pitch on the way is a fastball, top of the zone, called for a strike, and it's 0-1. Lindor 0 for 3 on the night. The 0-1 pitch, swing, and fouls it down the line. It's 0-2. Braves now switch over into a full shift. Riley goes into shallow right. Dansby by his lonesome on the left side of the infield with 2 strikes. The 0-2 on the way from Jansen inside. Lindor had to bend all the way backwards, almost limbo style, to get out of the way of that one. It was high and tight. A close shave at 1-2. Update in the Bronx. Aaron Judge had a 3-0 count on him, and they automatically walked him. So he still sits on number 61. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cutter got him chasing out of the top of the zone, and there's 1 away. I'm sure you'll see pictures and memes tonight. They just showed the Judge standing next to Rognit Odor, and you couldn't have a bigger disparity in height. Looks like his little brother that they were walking and talking as the inning ended over there in the Bronx. So Mark Kanya comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Hard-hitting left fielder. First pitch on the way, hits him right in the arm, and Jansen puts 1 on with 1 out. And now the tying run comes to the on-deck circle. Not what you want to do. 2 pitches now that he has thrown, actually 3 if you count the swinging strike, that were well out of the zone. It's never easy, is it? Braves 5, Mets 2. And that's going to bring Jeff McNeil to the plate. McNeil's 1 for 3 on the night with a run scored. The first pitch to McNeil is a cutter misses high and out of the zone, and Kanya takes second base. They'll probably call it defensive indifference, but to be honest with you, I don't know. That's still an important foresight you would have had. The 1-0 pitch swung on and rifled up the middle. That's going to be a single, gets down. The runner had to go back and backtrack. So by the time he turned back around and headed to third, he'll have to stay there. So no run scores, but they do bring the tying run to the plate. Kenley Jansen struggling once again. And wouldn't you know, Escobar comes to the plate. Escobar, 20 home runs, 66 RBIs, really seems to always be their guy that gets the big hit when they need it. So the Braves clinging to a 3-run lead. The first pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 1. Right there at the knees, cutter, and it's 0-1. Swanson, Arcia, and Olson are to the left or to the right of the second base bag, playing Escobar to pull. Riley is over by third, keeping the runner close. So there's a huge hole between third and second. The 0-1 pitch misses high and out of the zone. It's 1-1. Braves 5, Mets 2. Top of the ninth inning. 1-1 pitch. On the way, cutter misses high, and it's now 2-1. Escobar 3 for 12 lifetime against Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen in a heck of a mess here. The 2-1 pitch. Runners on the corners. One away. Off the plate. Wide ball. 3-1. How much time is left before the game is over? It's halftime. There's about 30 minutes left. 3-1 pitch from Jansen. Taking his time. Here's the pitch inside, misses, ball 4. And he's loaded to the bases again. Sticker just sits there. This is going to be Jansen's game to win or lose. And the bases are juiced for the rookie. Isn't this fitting? The rookie home run hitter, Alvarez, is going to come to the plate. He's 0 for 3, but he's hit a couple of balls really hard. He has 27 home runs on the year in the minors. Braves are now playing the infield straight up in double play depth. They could get something on the ground. Can't imagine Alvarez is that fleet of foot. He's a catcher, kind of a stocky build. First pitch on the way from Jansen is cutter, fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. What would have been Guillorme on deck is now Naquin, because he came in for defensive purposes after Vientos lifted. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2, cutter, top of the zone, and it's 0-2. Braves faithful trying to root Kenley Jansen on. Another hot mess. The 0-2 pitch from Jansen. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He loses the bat again. And there's 2 away. Second time tonight, Alvarez has swung the bat and has lost control of the bat. Fans are giving him the business as he has to go retrieve the bat off the back wall. He needs to get that under control, though, because he could hurt one of his teammates. So now a big spot, Tyler Naquin, left-handed hitter, good left-handed hitter, comes to the plate. The catcher, Nito, who hit a home run last time up, he is on deck. First pitch from Jansen is a cutter inside, called for a ball. It's 1-0. Travis Darnode looked in to ask us if he possibly had foul tipped it. He didn't. He's not even close. I don't know what Travis heard, but the ball was nowhere near the bat. They did check down the line to see if he went around. He did not. So it's 1-0 to Naquin. Braves clinging to this 3-run lead. The tying run is standing at home plate. Jansen down 1-0 in the count. Here's the pitch from Kenley. He shimmy and shakes and swung on, fouled back out of play. And it's 1-1. Naquin, 7 for 24 this year against the Braves. I knew he had some big at bats. 2 home runs, 2 doubles. Not the guy you want up there. The 1-1 pitch. Here's the pitch swung on and banged off his leg, foul, and it's 1-2. So the Mets are down to their final strike. With the tying run standing at the plate, you can't get better drama. In a game that saw Max Fried and Jacob deGrom go head to head. Fried had to leave early because of illness. He would be in line for the win, though. He did go 5. Jansen taking his time. Digs his feet in. He shakes and swings, just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Foul tips it, and d'Arnaud could not hold on. It's 1-2 once again. I mean, just d'Arnaud had to reach for the ball, and because of that, when it foul tipped, he was in a bad position and hit the heel of his glove, so he could not hold on to it. So we'll do it again. Bases juiced. And home plate umpire calls time. I don't know what that motion was for. Normally that motion, it's from a balk, but that's not what was called. Here we go again. Jansen slowly getting ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He leans forward and throws it in the dirt. It's 2-2. Braves 5, Mets 2, bases loaded. Top of the 9th inning, 2 outs. Mets down to their last strike once again. High tension in Atlanta. The 2-2. Jansen kicks and deals, swung on and just gets a piece of it. Foul off the dirt. Do it again at 2-2. A sold out crowd in Atlanta, Georgia, trying to will Kenley Jansen to one more strike, one more out. You got the bases loaded, 2 outs, a 2-2 count. They slowly get set again. Naquin gets back into the box. Here's the delivery, swung on and popped up, giving chase over towards the dugout. It's going to bounce off the dugout, and we'll have to do it again at 2-2. Cannot catch a break. I was hoping that ball would stay in play and Olsen could lean over to get the grab. No such luck. Jansen now at 22 pitches in this inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a 2-2 count. The 8th pitch of the at bat. Here's the delivery and check swing foul. We'll do it again. It's 2-2. Next broadcast planned for Sunday night, 7:08 first pitch. Standing room only in Atlanta, Georgia. Here's the 2-2 pitch and swung on and strike 3. Shake, rattle, and roll. That'll end it. Finally, the Atlanta Braves hold on for a 5-2 victory. Now knotted up at 98-59 in the National League East. Dansby Swanson, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, all going yard. A game that finished in just under 3 hours, 2 hours and 54 minutes, 42,402 folks in a sold-out Truist Park watch the Atlanta Braves tie up the Mets in the National League East. A big 5-2 victory, making tomorrow even more important and Sunday night crucial. So we'll head into the weekend tied with the New York Mets. Braves win the game on 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Mets 2 runs, no hits. No, 2 runs, no errors, 8 hits. Home runs by Riley, his 38th of the year. Olson is 31st, and Swanson is 23rd. Kenley Jansen gets his 38th save, and Max Fried goes 14-7, his 14th win of the year. Jacob deGrom falls to 5-4, believe it or not, and his ERA jumps to 3.08. Y'all have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow 9 a.m. to talk about this game in the world of football. Braves win at 5-2. Go get you a cold one on this Friday night. Braves fans, the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel are bringing you Braves baseball all season long. Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I'll be bringing you Braves baseball play-by-play for the Braves fans out there, for all of Braves country. So pull up an armchair and join us for Braves country baseball, first pitch to last pitch, Tuesday and Friday nights, right here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pale-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, he'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn proceeded, as did Jimmy Blake. The former was a hoodoo, the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, their melancholy and sad, for there seemed a little chance of Casey getting to the bat. Flynn led drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, much despised, tore the cover off the ball. But the dust had lifted, and then saw what had occurred. It was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then for 5,000 throats and more, there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley. It rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain. It recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. When he responded to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ran the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eyes. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy... That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. Benches black with people. Went up a muffed roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern. Two, fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern, and cold they saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched and neat. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye, sweetheart. It's time to go. We'll like tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we fire, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye. Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on these CBS Sports affiliates and catching the show on YouTube Live. The Armchair Quarterbacks bring you Braves Tuesday and Friday night play-by-play with Mac McGee. Find Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live today. Please subscribe and share and take us everywhere you go. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for Southern sports talk live from the First Coast.
Can I get another cigarette, please? Can I get another cigarette, please? Yeah, I know I live to regret it. Just give me another cigarette, please.